I wasn't going to record this video. I'm still contemplating if I'm going to post it. I guess I just have to be obedient to the Lord. I mean, He didn't tell me to share this with anybody, but it's just a word that He gave me this morning during my devotional time in the morning when I was praying and when I was doing my reading. Currently going through the book of Proverbs. So I love the parables of Jesus Christ. I love His parables, and I love researching and what they mean. And that's why He spoke to us in parables. He spoke in parables so that only those who are genuine believers, true believers, will understand what He meant through these parables. We'll understand because we have the Holy Spirit in us who will give us interpretation of what the Lord meant in speaking through these parables. Jesus, I believe He mentions that once to the disciples, and then He speaks to them clearly, and they said to Him, well, now we understand you because you're speaking to us clearly. They were just hearing clearly what He was saying. So anyway, I'm going to read a parable really fast. Then I'm going to share with you guys why I'm sharing this parable with you guys. It's a parable of the wedding feast, one of my favorite parables. Actually, they all are. And it starts in Matthew chapter 22, verse 1. And He says, "And again Jesus spoke to them in parables, saying, The kingdom of heaven may be compared to a king who gave a wedding feast for his son, and sent his servants to call those who were invited to the wedding feast, but they would not come. Again he sent other servants, saying, Tell those who are invited, See, I have prepared my dinner, my oxen and my fatted calves have been slaughtered, and everything is ready. Come to the wedding feast. But they paid no attention and went off, one to his farm, another to his business, while the rest seized his servants, treated them shamefully, and killed them. The king was angry, and he sent his troops and destroyed those murderers and burned their city. Then he said to his servants, The wedding feast is ready, but those invited were not worthy. Go therefore to the main roads and invite to the wedding feast as many as you find. And those servants went out into the roads and gathered all whom they found, both bad and good. So the wedding hall was filled with guests. But when the king came in to look at the guests, he saw there a man who had no wedding garment on. And he said to him, Friend, how did you get in here without a wedding garment? And he was speechless. Then the king said to the attendants, Bind him in hand and foot, and cast him into outer darkness. In the place there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. For many are called, but few are chosen. So that's the parable I wanted to read real quick. I don't have my Bible. I just printed this out. But in my Bible, I have a lot of notes as to who's who. We know that the Son is Jesus. We know that the King is the Father is God the Father. We know that many of the servants were the prophets. Okay, and who were the people that were invited? They were the Jews. But this parable also relates to us, the Gentile now, because we're in Jesus Christ. So they were the Jews, and we know what they did to the prophets. We know what they did to Jesus. So they were the Jews, and so that's what the Lord said. Yeah, the Father said, go invite. He invited others. He's invited us, the Gentiles, to this feast, this great banquet that's going to take place in heaven. And so, it says here, many are called and few are chosen. I pray that you're a chosen one. Even if you're called, doesn't necessarily always mean that you're chosen. You have to, the way you're chosen is by being fully committed to the Lord. Okay, and then when we read in Luke 21, 34, 36 says, But take heed to yourselves, lest your hearts be weighed down with carousing, drunkenness, and cares of this life, and that day come upon you unexpectedly, for it will come as a snare on all those who dwell on the face of the earth. Watch therefore, and pray always that you may be counted worthy to escape all these things that will come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man. What day is the Lord talking about here? He's talking about the day of the Lord. He's talking about the day where we're going to be raptured. Okay, the day where we're going to be taken away from this world, so we can be accounted worthy of escaping all these things that are coming to pass. So why am I sharing this? Real quickly, this morning when I was in prayer, from time to time, I mean, it doesn't happen all the time. It happens to me maybe 3, 4, 5 times a year. Whenever the Lord feels like it's time, He speaks to me. He'll give me a word, sometimes a long message, sometimes just a word. But this morning, I clearly heard him say, I am at the door. I heard him say, I am at the door. That's all he said to me. I am at the door. And then I felt the Holy Spirit lead me to this parable. I heard the Holy Spirit said to me, go read the parable of the wedding feast. So anyway, I'm just, letting you guys know what I was told this morning. And, he's at the door. So I pray that you are counted worthy of, being received into his kingdom. So anyway, that's what I say. And I believe it might be in James or maybe in Corinthians. In one of the epistles, it talks about that we should always examine our walk. So I ask you today, examine your walk. How are you walking for the Lord and in front of the Lord? So anyway, God bless you, my friends, and hopefully I'll see you guys in my prayer meetings, my prayer videos in the morning. God bless you.